keep thinking someone's coming. All right, we'll get on to part 3 of the MCPON letters. Where's it at? Part 3, MCPON letter. Here we go. This one is our professional character development. So this one came out just this week. We're back in Monday. And I do not have any notes on this, so we're going to shotgun this right now. Every sailor deserves a chief petty officer who is fully invested in their professional character development. And that's our bold outline right there. As you can see, chiefs are responsible for all-around training of personnel assigned to their supervision. Chiefs develop leaders with strong character, diverse perspectives, and resilience. We must recruit, retain, and effectively manage the talent of a diverse workforce to unleash their full potential at any given moment. To accomplish this, my goal is to ensure professional and character development is incorporated at multiple points throughout a sailor's career, at the right time, in the right manner. Okay, so this is one of those again. Definitely within our lane there of I don't have the papers in front of me, so I gotta read this PDF here. Yes, fully invest in their professional and character development. Only like the character development part though, right there. It's like at 18, I kind of like a lot of your characters already been developed through your family, through the way you're raised and everything. We can only change that so much in the Navy. Boot camp's supposed to change it, right? That's where you get your Navy core values, or so you're supposed to adapt those in boot camp. But like, yep, now my character is made of these core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and everything like that. But it's not true, right? Civilians that come into the Navy to transform into sailors nowadays, more than ever, it's not about service. Nikki just told me this. She was telling me a story at work, and she said one of the officers tells the junior officers, what does service mean to you? Right? So you come into the military service, and if you ask yourself that question, what does service mean to you? And you ask a junior sailor that, I'm really interested in what kind of responses you'd get. So, leave me a comment. What does service mean to you? Military service. What does that mean to you? Right? Because nowadays it means, what can I get out of it? I'm here in service. What can I get out of it? Right? Not what can I give you? What can you get out of me? Right? I mean, it's what are you giving me for my service, instead of how can I be of service? Chiefs develop leaders with strong character. Okay, diverse perspectives. I don't have to develop diverse perspectives. That's every person has their own. So I don't like. Again, I don't know. Maybe it's just I look at maybe sometimes I think I'm too literal or something. But like, I don't have to develop. If I have 5 different people, I have 5 different perspectives. I don't have to develop that. It's there naturally through conversation and through asking questions. It unfolds itself. But I don't look at that as developing it in them. Like, that's just them, right? And resilience. Again, resilience. Yeah, I mean, we can at some point, but or to some degree we can develop that resilience. But again, it goes to, well, the resilience is you should be resilient to working late. You should be resilient to a little bit less sleep, not horrible sleep, but a little bit less, long hours, hard work. You should be resilient to that. Only if you're going to do more and more of that. Thing is, everyone's always like, work the work list, and then if it's done by 12, I should be able to go home. Yeah, most of the time you should be able to. But if that's what we're doing all the time, how do I know you can put in a 24-hour day? Because I don't know if you can. I don't know if a lot of people can put in a 24-hour day. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's just something to think about that I think about. We must recruit, retain, and effectively manage the talent of diverse workforce. Excuse me. To unleash their full potential at any given moment. His goals are to ensure professional character development and incorporated at multiple points. So again, it's one of those, I'm with the MCPON's goal to ensure that professional character development is incorporated at multiple points throughout a sailor's career at the right time and the right manner. But if we're saying we're making that pace for change, and you're going to state this here, what is that? Is it not fully developed yet? Is it in the works? Like enlisted leadership is some of it, but again, what is the messaging? And after the messaging, I want to see like, boom, here's this one. Like all these bold under the underlying bold things. Like, is there going to be a follow up to like, hey, for this is what we're doing for that. Expect this by year date, right? And again, some of it is being worked on, but like, I don't know, it should be tied in together more, transparent, more seamlessly, right? Because like you'd be like, oh, there's all these nav admins and changes. Okay, but how much of that and which parts of that tie in with MCPON's letters? And then so can we discuss those parallel or laterally across to each other to, kindergarten mix and match? Oh, this nav admin came out and that directly goes to this. So now that I know that this nav admin is directly the solution or path to solution, step one to solution of MCPON's blank. All right, now I know that's where that goes. And to me, it's always should be clear, very, very clear. I should not have to guess, okay, about that. All right, moving on. Paragraph 2, developing good sailor starts with their chief petty officer, starting from the moment they receive orders to the command. Oh, let me tell you about something today. Make sure they have the right sponsor. When they report and during the entire onboarding, I got a sponsor story. When they report and during the entire onboarding and check-in process, make sure they have a good necessary support to ensure their seamen. Again, it's not even that late. It's only 10. When they report and during the check-in process, make sure they have the necessary support and during their, I should be, my bad. Where including their housing and pay. Back to housing and pay, right? We could get them into housing, but their pay, man, their pay gets so fucked. And I'm talking especially here at LCS Ron / any LCS ship on the West Coast. Their pay gets so fucked. So fucked because you got to do it all at the Ron, right, at the ISIC, and then there's no one on board that's actually fully qualified because they're not a PS. They're not trained in it. It's some other rate. It's a sonar tech figuring it the fuck out. Going back to the PS that has the shittiest. If you want a good shore duty, go ahead and go to admin at LCS Ron 1. Okay? They work like Monday through Thursday. Hours are like 9 or 8 or 9 to like 11. Break until 1300, wrapped up and going home by 1400. Fridays, there's no one there. Okay? That's about the truth of that right there. Okay? Those are the best that's the best shore duty that you could be at if you're an admin rate. And then dare go down there and ask them a question. Happened to me just last month. Sailor that had a pay issue. They're like, yeah, it was. I think I said this already, but they said come back Monday. It was a fucking Thursday. They said come back Monday. The PS that was our guy wasn't there. He was around the fucking cubicle. But as soon as I showed up, all of a sudden people want to jump too. Why does it take fucking me wearing an anchor to fucking show up? That should not be a thing. A sailor said they need to get their fucking money. Get him his fucking money. Then you want to come around the corner and talk about, yeah, I already gave it to him. Yeah, he said he doesn't he forgot it at home. And I want it done right the fuck now because he's 6 months behind on his fucking payment or on his pay. So give him another one, motherfucker. Golly, man, that should be pissing me off. But like, then we want to talk about this, right? A seamless transition, including their housing and pay. Well, who's doing the housing and pay fucking shit, right? It's not always the chief executing every fucking pay thing or pay change. It's junior sailors. It's junior sailors that commands are letting them go at fucking, 3 hours of work and not being, 3 hours at work, no work being done. So just like, let's just, and this isn't a hit on MCPON or anything about it, but it's just like, this really hits me because where I'm at, this shit is a shit show, right? We have these problems all the time and all we get is pushback or no help or it feels like there's no support. Again, sailors with month-long issues, chiefs, senior chiefs with month-long issues not getting resolved. And really the best answer we get is like, oh yeah, we lost it. Oh, someone didn't turn it in. Oh, you guys didn't turn it into the right people. Who the fuck do you want me to turn it into? It was emailed to you 3 times. We're on deployment. We have no PSs here. There's no PSD around. There's no support at all. There's no downrange support. All we got is shitty SHF to try to get you something. And now that we're here looking you in the face, you're still like fucking trying to be like, nah, sorry. You got to come back Monday, 72 hours from now, because tomorrow I have PT and I don't come in afterwards. Fuck out of here. Eat a dick. Get them to command indoctrination. Give them the opportunity to understand how the command does business. Ensure they understand their rights in the Navy and responsibilities to the Navy and their shipmates. What are the rights in the Navy? Where's that book? I've never read my rights that I have in the Navy. I've been in long, but it seems like I wasn't so long ago where it's like, I mean, I always look at it as like my rights were like I should be able to eat and sleep somewhere. And outside of that, it should be pretty good. Right? Like, again, like, if you want me to ensure, like, what do I sit down and tell a new sailor checking in? Like, all right, hey, shipmate, hey, welcome aboard, and here are your rights in the Navy. What are those rights? Are those rights pay? Because if they're pay, as soon as they get something fucked up, shouldn't be like fucking red flags, fucking five alert, fire alarm fire or something, 5 alarm fire. Because now we're like going against their rights. That's what, like, if you tell me, that's what I read. That's how I read it. I don't know. And responsibilities to the Navy and their shipmates. That's a good one, right? Ensure they understand the responsibilities to the Navy and their shipmates. Fuck yeah, I'm with that. I just don't know the rights in the Navy part, right? How they fit into the organization has a lot to do with what is expected of them and what they can depend on the organization for. Yeah, again, I think I'm pretty jaded being at LCS and that organization, and watching sonar techs be there for 3, 4, 5 years, whole enlistments, and do nothing sonar related, and them feeling that they don't fit into the organization at all, and having little expectation of the organization, feeling like they have little expectation of themselves because they can't do the job that they signed up for. So again, maybe just like jaded because of where I'm at, but career development board should be detailed, not cursory, and focus on all aspects of the sailor, how they're settling in the command, how their pay is doing. Again, back on the pay thing, right? It's a huge issue right now, and that's why he's tapping it so many times. But if it's such a big issue, like, what the fuck gives? Like, whose head is rolling out there, right? If anyone has a pay issue that lasts longer than, I'm gonna be very generous here, 3 months, that should be investigated from like motherfucking CMC head PSD or some shit to be like, why hasn't? And I'm sure somewhere on there they have a tracker of 5,000 names of those issues, but I'd be going all the way fucking back down that chain to the fucking PS2, PS3, PS1, and Chief and Divo of who fucked that up. And I'd write them a stern letter that would start with, what the fuck were you doing? Right? How the fuck did we fuck our shipmate for 3 months and not get them their money? Okay. I know y'all hate the word shipmate. How their new living conditions are, in addition to their personal and professional goals. Take this chance to sit down and truly get to know your sailor. Right? Sorry, I click back over. Right? So there's that part. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's one of those things I always look at as like, that's just standard, right? Like, who doesn't? That's just talking to a sailor. You get a new sailor checking, you don't, like, the CDB, like it says, it should be, detailed, not cursor. Like, part of a CDB to me is just like the day-to-day interaction. Yo, how you doing? How's the berthing set up? You got everything? You got your sheets? You got your blanket? You miss anything? What do you mean you don't have a sheet? You've been on board a week, you don't have sheets? No one told you to go get sheets? Oh, no. All right, well, let me all right, boom. We got you sheets now. Now I'm going to go kick somebody's ass. Whoever brought you on board, whoever was your sponsor, right? Goes back to the right sponsor, right? Oh, sponsor story coming up, right? To make sure you have that story, all that shit that you need to live comfortably, to be, hey, is the fucking head clean? You got all your hygiene stuff? I don't like stinky kids. You can't be a stinky kid in my division, okay? So if you're going to be a stinky kid, wash your ass. But that's how I talk to them. They're fucking grown up. I'm going to tell them straight. You better have all your shit. You better fucking be sleeping on sheets and a blanket, sleeping bag. You better have your hygiene items. You better have fucking clean socks, clean underwear, all that stuff. Because there ain't going to be no fucking stinky kid in my division. You're going to be a stinky kid in my division's going to call you out for being the stinky kid. The first time it might be nice. We might find a way to celebrate your birthday, Christmas, random gift exchange. And you're going to get gifted a basket of fucking hygiene. If you don't get the fucking clue then the next time it's going to be like, yo, you stink. You need to wash your ass more. All right. And if it's still bad after that, you have a medical condition, you need to go talk to doc. Boom. That's it right there. Sponsor story. I was a third class of waiting to be frocked en route from USNS to DDG, Norfolk to Hawaii. Get in touch with my sponsor. Sponsor's at LS2, SK2 at the time. He's out on deployment. Lets me know that their first class was left behind for their beach debt in Hawaii. And the first class, SK1, Unfreed, I'll drop his name, don't care, would be taking care of me when I showed up. Get in touch with SK1, give him my itinerary, let him know where I'm going to be, all that good stuff. He says, cool. I arrive in Hawaii. I call him up. Yo, SK1, it's SK3. I just touched down, got my bags. I'm at terminal, whatever. Just wondering, like, what's your ETA? Right? He's like, this fucking guy, bald guy, big mustache, little strange. He was like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm here in Hawaii. I emailed you, said I was arriving on this day. He goes, oh, I didn't know that. Fucking oblivious, absolutely oblivious to me, to what my itinerary was. I'm like, bro, I emailed it to you. I text you. I probably text because this was like 2008. So text message still worked. Right. Not like today, but like it worked. You know what I mean? Like I had called, like left messages. Like I told this dude I was arriving 26 or whenever it was, right? Probably like 13 June, 1 June, something like that. He goes, well, I'm at home right now. It's going to take me like an hour or two to get to you. I'm like, holy shit. I said, you know what, man? Don't worry about it, bro. I didn't say that, but like, I'm like, oh, it's all right, SK1. Let me call it. I think I got another PON contact. He's like, could you maybe get a driver, a duty? I'm like, who the fuck's a duty driver? We're like, what? I'm like, fuck. Luckily, I had an interim school en route for postal, right? That was there in Hawaii, so I was gonna go to postal school there first and then check in. But this was my sponsor for the ship. He was supposed to take care of me, right? The LSC at the postal schoolhouse, I had been contacted by him, right? He's like, SK3, you're going to school here, da 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 da. If you need anything, call me. Only other person that I had a contact for on island. I called him. Hey, Chief, it's SK3 Moore. I just arrived. I'd updated him, too, with my itinerary, right? But that's not my sponsors. It's just a fucking chief at the schoolhouse, okay? I was like, my sponsor said he can't pick me up for like 2 hours. I'm here at the airport. I was wondering, like, would you be able to give me a ride somewhere? He said, don't worry about it. I'll be there in fucking 15 mics. Oh, okay, cool. Motherfucker was there. 15 mics. Boom, on the spot. What's up, SK3? Let's go. He's like, and then he was asking me like, yo, who's your sponsor? Who you supposed to be getting picked up by? I'm like, oh, it's this SK1, blah, blah, blah. He said he'll be over here. And then I'm like, I'm calling SK1 and he's like, oh, I'm over here. And this was like, I don't think it was a week. It might have been a weekday. A weekend? Might have been a weekday because he says he's at TPU. Right, SK1's like, yeah, you gotta come over to TPU. I'm gonna check you into TPU, right? It's a transient, right? Transient personnel unit, whatever it is, right? And I'm like, fuck, man, I've heard stories about it. I was like, I don't really want to go there, like. And so we pull up. SK1 has a truck pulled in, tailgate down, sitting on the tailgate in his utilities, cup of coffee, cigarette, and a book, sitting cross-legged on the tailgate, smoking, drinking, reading a book, right? And Chief pulls up over on the other side. Chief says, I forget that Chief's name. I'd like to, what is it? I don't know, but Chief pulls up, goes, wait in the car, jumps out. And you can see like SK1, like he like runs over. He's like, oh, hey, Chief, and Chief like is like, come here, and takes him a little, 5-10 feet away around another car. Is talking to him, blah, blah, blah. You see, like, he's not chewing his ass hard, but he's talking to him. He's all right. He calls me out. And then we go, all three of us go into the TPU. We talk to whoever's on fucking duty. They're like, oh, yeah, we might have a room. Let's go look over here. They take me up to a room. It's not, like, messy, but it's TPU, so it's not clean. Someone's living there. Like, it's two people to a room. It's a double queen not even like a double full hotel room, right? Except shitty. And so I was waiting to be frocked, right? So I was about to be a second class. I got the news as I was in transit, so I wasn't wearing it or anything. But there was like another seaman in there or something. And the chief was like, the chief just looked around and like looked at SK1. He was like, "You're really gonna put him in here?" And SK1 was like, "Yeah. Well, we don't have the ship here, so he's gonna go here." And the chief was like, chief just told him straight up, he's like, "You know what? Don't worry about it. I got it. Come with me, SK3." And walked my ass over to Arizona Hall, right? To the what do you call it, the Navy Lodge, the Gateway Inn. Got me a room in there. Walked me in there, talked to the front desk, was like, he needs a room. He's on orders. Here's this and that. No, he's not staying at TPU. Put him up here, right? And this was before like government travel cards and all that, right? So it was like, I had to pay out of pocket, but he was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket, but it's gonna be better than fucking living over there in TPU with these fucking transient fucking personnel coming in and out of the Navy, not knowing where the fuck they're going." And he was like, "Hey, I'll be here tomorrow morning. I wasn't even in the class yet. My class didn't start for like a week, I think. So he showed up with the SK1 the next morning again, right? But like that was that right there was my first that was my second sponsor or third sponsor technically, I guess. But the worst sponsorship ever by that SK1. So I really relate. Like I really understand, make sure they have the right sponsor when the MCPON says this, and developing a good sailor start with the chief petty officer, right? And it necessarily wasn't my chief's fault. But I mean, think about that. Like you have a SK1, and they leave you behind for the beach debt, and they let the SK2 take LPOSE, whatever that's worth. And there's supposedly some underlying stuff in that and everything, but I mean, still says a lot, right? Says a lot. So yeah, that's my sponsor story. It was, and since then sponsorship I've always taken it very serious for myself, for my sailors, because I had that horrible experience. I was bailed out by a chief, right, that was doing their job the way it should be done, and got me hooked up with a nice room, got me hooked up going over to the post office there at the NAFSUP building, right? At the post office there in Hawaii. I worked there for like a week with the civilians, just sorting mail and kind of learning shit. Then I went to the school. As I was at that chief fucking made sure that was all good to go. It was. And then like for a week, I had to drive around with the SK1. SK1 was driving another seaman's truck, right? Like the seaman he didn't put his truck in long-term storage until the SK1 he could just move it around for him. SK1 was whipping that shit, smoking in it, whipping it, driving around, using it like it was a duty truck, just dogging it bad. And I'm like, "Hey man, that ain't my fault." Like whatever. When that seaman asked me, he was like, "Hey man," like I was like, "Yeah, but he been driving your shit. I'm gonna tell you straight, he been driving it." It's a weird dude, man. Smell like smoke. Let's get back to the last one before we wrap this up. This little sea story. Sorry. When chiefs invest in their sailors, and I'm sorry, I was reading, got caught. When chiefs invest in their sailors and value their well-being, it creates trust and confidence within their team. Chiefs should be intimately familiar with their sailors. I was reading this on Reddit. People are like, "No, I'd rather not have my chief intimately familiar with me." I lolled. Chiefs should understand their sailors' goals and be able to guide them in improving their professional and personal standing. All right. Chiefs must still instill continuous pride and professionalism, ensure sailors are completing their enlisted leadership courses, have a good mentor, and look to pursue additional education opportunity, e.g., U.S. Navy. Excuse me. U.S. No, I didn't say nothing.
The United States Navy is the maritime service branch of the United States Armed Forces and one of the 8 uniformed services of the United States. I'm having trouble hearing.
I can't say her name again. She fucked me all up. And look to pursue additional education opportunities, e.g., U.S. Naval Community College, TA, etc. That's just 2 examples. I don't know how many etceteras you got there. When your sailors know you are invested, you prove to them they are in a safe environment. Again, like, oh man, this is absolutely Gen Z signaling right here, right? I personally don't like it. Be relevant. If your sailors are not coming to you for guidance or seeking assistance with their issues, you may not be relevant to them. I ask that you reflect on this. I know we all can improve in this area. All right, couple things here. Where Chiefs should be interesting. All right, yeah, you got to know your sailors' goals. The sailors got to know your goals for them, right? And those got to marry up. You got to match those. They could have goals. You have goals for them, and you got to make those goals match somehow to be like command and Navy goals to make them a better sailor all around, right? You can't just be like, all right, what are your goals? Okay, we only care about your goals, and that's all we're working towards. That's not going to work out in the long run. You think it would, but it's not, because their goals just might not be. Not it's not that you're not working towards their goals, but you have to have goals for them also. Like, know their goals and then put your goals. If you match them up, they're going to get there faster, sooner, better, right? You can't just be like, oh, you have goals to fucking be a, to show up on Iron Chef. All right, cool. Well, my goal for you is step 1, XYZ. Okay, because them just having a goal of being on Iron Chef, like, it's very broad. I just use it as a horrible example. Chiefs must instill continuous pride and professionalism. Okay, ensure sailors are completing their enlisted leadership courses. Yes, because that's going to be part of. So they're going to do away with like PMKEs, and you have to have the enlisted leadership courses done. They just announced that for Chiefs going up for senior chief. You got to have it done. Have a good mentor. I thought we stopped using the word mentor. I thought we're all coaches now, right? Mentorship program is horrible. You cannot force a mentor, as you guys seen on my last episode with me talking to my mentor, and I've said the background story to that before. You cannot force a good mentorship thing. It has to happen naturally, right? I think when you try to force it like that, it comes off as that, oh, it's just another check in the box program. Oh, excuse me. Another check in the box program. So it's worthless then, right? And look to pursue additional education opportunities. Again, that's just one of that, like, we throw it in there, and then the sailor of today's Navy is gonna be like, you have to let me do this because I saw the letter and MCPON said you did. Well, like, I mean, maybe he kind of, Chiefs must instill continuous pride and professionalism, ensure sailors are completing their enlisted leadership, have good mentor, and look to pursue. Like, I don't think he said I had to, but I'm not saying you can't. But like, how you expect to go to Naval Community College when you're not even 3M 301 fucking qualified, right? Again, it's like sometimes we get such mixed messaging. Are we trying to be technical experts and warfighters? Because if we are, I don't give a fuck about Navy Community College right now. Okay? Like, I need you to be knowing how to firefight. I need you to know how to do maintenance. I need you how to be a sailor on a ship to go fight. Because that's warfighter competency. Okay? That's, we should be all in on that. Absolutely. And if we're going to be all in on that, then we need to cut some of this other shit to the side. Now we need to get rid of Naval Community College. I think it's good. I'd like to try it out when I go to my last shore duty here in a year. Okay. But that's like, there are sea activities and there are shore activities. And we need to clearly make Chiefs, but when we get things like that, they should be, clearly delineated too. Like, this is for this time. These programs are for this time when you're on shore. These programs for this time at sea, right? And being at sea is just like, I don't care about like TA and community college and all that. If you got time, cool, route it. I'll sign it. I'm not saying no, I'm not going to sign it. I sign anything. I don't care. Go for it. But don't come to me when you're talking, I got to pay back the thing because I got a D because you were working me too late. Motherfucker, you was on sea duty. You didn't think we were going to be underway? You thought we were going to be underway for a deployment and that we were just going to have solid internet and you're going to just be able to take your online class? I told you, no, that's not a smart idea. You said, well, the MCPON said, you have to let me. Okay, and I said, so I put my comment on there. It got approved, yes, because everyone wants to support you. So there, pay your fucking money back to the fucking Navy. So again, it's like this messaging that kind of, to me at least, sends like crossed signals about where we're trying to put our efforts. For me, like, our effort should be that warfighter competency, right? And we need a strike from the record, like the college or that, or put that like in another bucket called shore duty, right? When your sailors know you are invested, you prove to them they're in a safe environment. Again, safe environment stuff to me, that's like that virtue signaling, um, Gen Z speak, so to say, right? You're not in a safe environment. A warship at sea is not a safe environment, right? Like you in the office in the division, you're safe there. No one should be there to hurt you. But like inherently, you're in a dangerous occupation. The military is to do war and take it to other countries. So in that aspect, like you're not safe. And I don't think I guess they're not talking about that aspect, right? But like again, it's we say these words. I think we should be a little bit more careful how we're saying it and when we're saying it in what context. In this context is like I guess they're just trying to say, well, if you're invested in them, they feel safe with you. Like, okay, you feel safe with me, but get the fuck to work, right? Are you I'm invested in you getting this job done. Are you invested in getting this job done? Or do you want to stay here all day? Are you invested in your liberty time? Because if you're not invested in we again going back to the work list and this and that, and then sailors going, well, they're just going to keep me here all night anyway, so I'm not going to do anything. All right, don't fucking do anything. I'll keep you here, right? But you don't even try to get the work list done. Your automatic mentality is, I'll be here anyway, so fuck it. I'll just take my time. Cool, take your time. I got more work for you to do later this evening when you're not done with when you finally get done with that, because the work list still isn't done. Can we leave shit on the work list for tomorrow? Sure we can. We can't leave everything, though, right? Because the work list builds every day. And if we don't get shit done today, then tomorrow we'll just have less shit done, too. All right, be relevant. If your sailors are not coming to you for guidance or seeking assistance for their issues, you may not be relevant to them. Okay. I might not be. I have sailors that go to a lot of other people for stuff. I'm not mad about it. What's that say if you're so affected that your sailor doesn't go to you for everything? Maybe they recognize that you're not the best at this topic, at that thing, right? So they go to other people that they trust about this or trust about that, right? A lot of people I don't think are considering, if you want to get into the fucking, we say like I said, we use like these virtue signaling words and Gen Z speak, as I'm now coining it, right? Motherfuckers are gonna go to likeness, okay? A lot. Well, I don't think people understand a big part of it. If you don't look like them, right? And this is definitely Gen Z shit. If you don't look like them, they might not fuck with you because it's hard for you to understand how you don't even look like me. How are you gonna understand anything I'm talking about, right? You don't have any similar lived experiences as me. How are you gonna understand? So I'm not gonna do it. It's not that I don't trust you as a chief in your position or whatever. It's that I don't trust you of having lived experiences as me. So I'm gonna go with this other person that might. And if you achieve out there being butthurt about that and not being able to realize that, what the fuck are you doing? Come on now. Like, you be like, hey, you know what? If you want to talk to me about it, talk to me about it. If you don't, because you're not comfortable or because you found someone else that talks to you better about it, or maybe you don't like that I'm fucking too cut and dry with you, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, cool. Go to whoever you need to go to talk about it, to be better about it. Okay. It doesn't like that. Don't hurt my feelings. As long as you're talking to somebody and it's getting figured out and then you could get your work done, I'm good. We good over here. So like I don't think that's necessarily exact relevance, right? And I'm not relevant to them. Well, I'm relevant to them. Like I could cut it to you like this. I'm relevant to some way because I'm the one writing that fucking eval. Right. And that's not a threat or anything. I'm not holding over their head, but there's some relevance there. They have to figure out how I am relevant to them. Right. You have to figure out how people are relevant to you and use that for whatever you need it for. Right. But every situation, everything they're talking about doesn't mean because they're talking with someone else that you're irrelevant to them all of a sudden about everything. Like, it's okay to go to different people, man. It's okay. I ask that you reflect on this. I know we all can improve in this area. Yeah, but we can. We can improve in every damn area, MCPON. We sure as hell can. But like, again, just I don't know. That relevant one kind of hit me, like, because I know my sailors go talk to other people, and sometimes I'm like, damn man, like why didn't you fucking let me know? And they'll be like, okay. And then when this is where I hit them with the relevancy. When they be like, oh, I talked to so and so, they said this, and I'm like, well, now that you're all fucked up and you know that's wrong, right? That they gave you all this bad information, maybe now you'll learn how relevant I am to you. But until that, if it all works out, go ahead. It all worked out. Cool. Moving on. Because as I enjoy my sailors going to other people and learning other perspectives and other ways, right? There's other sailors coming to me from their chiefs or their divos or whatever else too. So it's like it all comes around. Like if every sailor's your sailor, then you shouldn't be mad if your sailor's going to another sailor or another chief, another khaki, whoever. That's it. That's letter 3. Man, this is a long one. I'm gonna cut this to 3 parts. It's it's some crazy stuff. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next. I'm looking forward to the next. What you call that? The next letter, because the next letter is what it says. Quality of life. I think. Get my papers out here. Yeah. So the next one's quality of life. I'm really that I would suspect maybe next Monday, the 24th was what day? Wednesday or some shit. So maybe next week. Quality of life one's going to be interesting just because we know there's a lot of issues with young sailors' quality of life and a lot of shitty barracks out there. I think West Coast got it pretty good. I think there may be one barracks that ain't too good nowadays over here in San Diego. Most of them, though, I think, are pretty good. I haven't heard no complaints from my sailors, but if they did, route that shit, man. Let's go. If we need to go we need to go talk to the barracks people, come get me. I'm always down to take a ride. Like I love walking to front desk and start asking questions. How to do that now? What we double back to that. We're talking about sponsorship and when they receive orders. I had a sailor come up to me. It's a PG, not supposed to be due to us in a while, and this sailor was confused as fuck. They knew about themselves and what was going on, but they're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I don't know da 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 da. And you can see him like, oh, chief, like that and then so fast forward, his chief called me. Because I gave the sailor, I said, I need to go back to your command. I need to go ask these 3 questions. Here's my phone number. You call me. You text me. If your chief is over there, tell them to call me or text me. Okay, so his chief did call me. Real helpful. He's like, yo, this is what's going on, bro. XYZ, ABC, 1, 2, 3. I said, cool. Tracking all that. But did you know this? That his TAD orders that y'all gave him, that shit ran out Friday? And he goes, no, I didn't. That's on me. My bad. And he was like, I'll take the hit on that. That's my fault. I fucked that up. I was like, cool. You can say it is, but also that's over back here at our command. That's our fault too. Not mine, but LCS wrong command, right? Because when I went down to that front desk and I started knocking on doors, I'm like, yeah, what's going on with the sailor? Oh yeah, that's my sailor. And oh yeah, they're going to, wanted to hype it up like, oh, they're all on it. I go, yeah, where I said, where are his TAD orders? Oh, we got them. I'd like to see them. Oh, just a minute, Chief. Just a minute. Yeah, I'll wait. They pull them out. Oh, they're right here. I look at them. Did you know that they expired last Friday on the 27th? The PO1 grabs it. Oh, no, I didn't know that, Chief. Yeah. So why do you have a sailor here mustering all week long since Monday, 3 days now, and he's not even under TAD orders? And technically, really, he's UA from his actual command because he hasn't been mustering there. And they just looked at me. Oh yeah. Well, I think he's no. Now you're thinking. Now you don't think. What does the paper say? The paper says he don't belong to your ass since Friday, and y'all didn't fucking tell him. Again, and that the conversation with the chief right away was like, hey, this isn't to be like the chief did the right thing. The chief fucked up too, but at least he said it. I fucked that up. I'll be sure he has new orders. I'm like, hey, look, man, he just got to have new orders because what I'm worried about, he's going to be doing all this for nothing because where's he at? No one's tracking him, right? And that's just what we're supposed to do, right? And It should be getting squared away. Should be getting fixed. But that's that, man. MCPON letters. They've been crazy. I think messes are talking about them. If you got any input, let me know in the comments. My mess has been talking about them. I ain't gonna let y'all know that what we said, but me. If you hear me on here, I'm saying the same stuff in there. People react different to it. And when stupid shit gets said, I start saying some stupider shit. Just know that if anyone's gonna be the stupid one in the room, it's gonna be me. All right, don't forget. For more information on how you can support the podcast, please visit us at anchor.fm/BravoZulu podcast. The information, views, and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of myself, Joshua Moore, and the individuals involved, and do not necessarily represent the DOD, DORN, or those respected institutions, like the Chiefs mess, or organizations. Thanks for joining us. We out. Hey, don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share it with your friends, all the good stuff. Hey, we out.